Good evening and welcome to Midnight. This is Reverend Anna from Anna Transylvania's Tarot Room with Starry Sunday and Magic Monday. Of course, we're doing it together. Now, first of all, I do have to say I have been absent for a bit. Things got crazy, okay? I'm a Sagittarius and things dropped and I had to catch them. So, now that we're back on our regularly scheduled schedule, okay? Let us dive into the astrology for this next week, which is April 1st to April 8th. Okay, I already did the March astrology, the end of March astrology, like maybe about 10 days ago or so. So let's dive into April 1st through April 8th. I'm trying something new here. I'm also sorry, guys. I'm trying something new here. And it is like giving you a little bit of a head start. So April 1st, I think, is Wednesday. Um, all right, so let's start with April 1st, which I think is Wednesday. Let me check that, okay? Let Mama check, okay? Okay, let's see. Let's see about this calendar. Is it on Wednesday? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Nothing like having some of my stuff together, okay? All right, so April 1st is a Wednesday, and we have the Sun trine Lilith. So this month starts with a bang, okay? So April Fool's Day, April Schmool's Day, okay? Happy April Fools if you guys are watching this on April 1st. So the Sun trine Lilith is an interesting aspect because Lilith is actually an asteroid, but Lilith is also the dark side of the moon, okay? So when we have the sun, which is the eternal spotlight, okay, shining on some of these hidden aspects, it's talking about, things that are hidden are going to be coming revealed. Certain, maybe sexual things, or, even if they're not becoming revealed out in public, they're going to be coming revealed to you. So, like, secrets can be revealed this day. Tempers can flare, okay? With the Sun trine Lilith, tempers can be, like, quite heightened because obviously, like, we don't like to be spotlighted on the things that we're most vulnerable about, right? Like, a lot of people keep vulnerabilities and, like, flaws that they perceive are flaws secret, right? So this day on April 1st, it is not going to be a good idea to prank people, especially not do pranks about things that they feel vulnerable about. Not a great idea, okay? Now, on the positive side, the trine is a more positive aspect. So it can come to light that you've done good things, that you've grown, that you've subconsciously um, learned your lessons, okay? Because Lilith can be also kind of a taskmaster in that it teaches you to be authentically yourself, to have a voice, to give your authentic self a voice. So with the Sun trine Lilith, a lot of people are going to be telling the truth. A lot of people are going to be saying what they feel. A lot of heart on the sleeve type moment on the first of the month in April, okay? So not a good idea for pranks anyway. But it could be okay. It could be okay. Okay. You use your judgment there. You use your judgment. Okay. So some of the works that you can actually do with Sun trine Lilith is a lot of like inner work, a lot of inner work about like how do you feel about yourself, what's your self-esteem like, what are your emotions around certain things that have bothered you before, are they still bothering you now, stuff like that. Okay. So that is Sun trine Lilith. Now, the Sun trine Lilith is an excellent time to also do any kind of work around your femininity, okay? Work around expressing yourself in a feminine way. Um, A lot of aesthetic work, like glamour work, can work very, very well here. Okay. Lilith is kind of like, she shows up as a beautiful woman, and she's a fierce goddess, okay, but she shows up as a beautiful woman. She seduces people. So it's a very good time to like really let your sexy beast out. Okay. Now, adult content, trigger warning, okay. Now, April 2nd, which is the next day. So Sun trine Lilith is going to last a couple of days, okay? Which is going to bleed into the full moon in Libra. Yet again, we have that kind of like femme fatale kind of um, vibe, okay? Librans are very aesthetically inclined. Very good time to do glamour magic. Very good time to give yourself a makeover. Very good time to charm people into doing the things you want. Very good time to put marketing out there where you have to look your best. Very good time to, put your own pictures on the website, retouch pictures. On a physical level, very good time to start like, I wouldn't say an exercise program, but like a sort of relaxation program. Very good time to beautify your home, to make sure it's calibrated energetically. Very good time to do any kind of energy work like Reiki, Masotherapy, acupuncture, stuff like that. Um, Also very good for justice work. This is excellent for justice work for women especially, okay? With the full moon in Libra, Venus rules Libra. Lilith can be seen as another aspect of Venus, even though it's the dark side of the moon. We're not going to get into that here. It's a longer discourse. If you guys want that, please let me know down in the comments. I do read them, even if I don't answer all of them. Or DM me if you want something, okay? Now, the full moon in Libra is actually a very interesting moon in that it's not going to be affecting Librans first. It's actually going to be affecting Aries first, then Gemini, then Libra, then Aquarius, okay? Sagittarius might also be affected a little bit, and so would Scorpio, okay? Because Scorpio comes after Libra. So it can bleed into the Scorpionic people's lives that are on this channel, okay? So, on a personal note, the full moon in Libra is a relationship or emotional dynamic comes to a turning point. You're asked to rebalance where you've overgiven or compromised too much. That's definitely been the theme of my life, okay? I'm not a Libra, but it's been the theme of my life. So it's going to be the theme of the month of April. It's about taking your power back where you've been giving too much power, taking your time back where you've been giving too much time, seeing that your needs are met first before you give to others. It's not that you shouldn't give to others this month, it's seeing that your needs are met first. And if that should require really taking a long, hard look at what you authentically need for yourself for this phase of your life, then that hard look should be had this week. That hard look should be had in the month of April, because that hard look is basically going to dictate what the rest of the year is like for you guys, okay? We just went through through Mercury going direct. We just went through a whole bunch of stuff. Planets are going to be going into Aries later on in April. So you want to really, if you need to sit down and really think about, how do you authentically want to show up? Who are you authentically? To yourself, to others? What are your actual needs? What are your real actual needs? And try to meet those. And are they being met? Are they not being met? Can you do other things differently so that you can meet them? All of those questions are popping up on this moon, okay? So on the full moon in Libra, all of these questions are popping up. Now, I'm saying it's not going to affect Libra as much as it's going to affect Aries, because we have all of those planets in Aries, okay? So that's why I'm saying that. Now, let's talk about a little bit of the mundane, because we have some mundane things happening, okay? So the moon in Libra can be quite a peacemaking moon, but it's all about justice, okay? It's all about how things look. It's about optics, it's about perception sometimes. It's not just about how things look, but how things actually are. So we have to make sure during the month of April as a collective that things look how they actually are, that we're not skewing anything too far into one direction or another. Okay? So, on a mundane level, which means on a worldwide level, astrologically, the themes are justice, diplomacy, alliances reaching culmination, legal matters, treaties, public opinion around fairness come to light. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you guys, any of you guys are in the public eye, or you work with a lot of people or a group of people, um, some of you are actually Libras. If you're actually Libras or Aries on this channel, um, make sure that you show up as authentically yourself, first and foremost, and that you don't skew information too much in one direction or another, so you can make it appear of how not how it is. Okay? Because with the Sun trine Lilith and some of the things that we're going to be discussing here, it can actually backfire on you. People are going to be like, I can't, baby. You can't do that. You gotta stay true. Okay? Now, if I were to pick a day or a couple of days this month that was a very important day, I would pick April 3rd through the 5th. So, yes, we do have the full moon in Libra, that's important, but I would pick the 3rd through the 5th as the most intense days of the month, this month. Okay, you have a little bit of respite on the 4th because nothing is actually like on the 0 degree, like, no conjunctions on the 0 degree, but it's wedged in the middle in between the 3rd and the 5th. So you still have all of these things are still active on the 4th. Maybe not the full moon, but the Sun trine Lilith can be a little bit active still on the 4th. Sun square Jupiter, the squares are not the greatest thing to have. Okay, now on April 3rd is the Mercury trine Jupiter. Mercury trine Jupiter is a very fast aspect, so it lasts a couple of days. But on Mercury trine Jupiter, communication is plentiful. Okay, people are going to communicate, trade with each other. Maybe there's some peace treaties with the full moon in Libra. Maybe the moon in Libra can actually smooth over some conflicts. Okay, on a worldwide stage, maybe the moon in Libra will be like the salve to the to the wound. Okay, here's hoping. Okay, I'm being hopeful because we have a couple of trines. These, from the 1st to the 3rd, we have a couple of trines, so those are kind of good aspects. Okay, but they are fire aspects, so it's very important to understand. Yes, they're good aspects, but fire transforms. A trine is a triangle, and fire transforms. It's not just, oh my god, you have to go through the fire to get to the other side sometimes with a trine. Okay, it's a very active aspect. It's not, a square can be more passive. An opposition is also very active. Okay, conjunction can be also very active, right? So then you have, the squares, and you have like some of the other ones, quincunxes and sextiles and stuff like that, to where you can kind of like be like, oh, okay, it's harmonious, I can just coast along. Squares are very slow. Anyway, so with the Mercury trine Jupiter, it is important to really, really focus your conversation and your inner conversation, your inner dialogue. So how we were talking about authenticity with the Mercury trine Jupiter, you really need to focus on the positive. So whatever you say this day needs to focus on the positive outcomes that you want. Whatever you say needs to really be about positive things. Like, oh, I'll tell you now what we're gonna do. No, not like that. You're gonna need to do, oh, what I would love to do is this. What I would love to get is this. What I would love to manifest is this. Really good day for manifestation, really good day for trade agreements in between you and another party. Like if you're looking for bargains and things like that. Very good day to find the thing you're looking for cheaper. Okay, Mercury is a great trades planet. Jupiter is exalted right now in Cancer. So we're talking about a really good day. Now, it can be also a really good day to really express your ideas in a way that they'll be accepted by other people. So if you've been doing like any kind of like marketing and thinking, okay, when do I launch the product? Mercury trine Jupiter, really good day to launch a product. Okay, really good day. Um, a really good day to also like do day trading, day investments, or learning some new money techniques that can, like kind of like that can seem like a get rich quick scheme. Like, good day to play the lottery too, as long as you focus on a good outcome. I'm not saying spend hundreds of dollars. I'm just saying buy a lottery ticket, see where it goes. Okay. It's also Thursday, um, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's also Friday, so it's like right before the weekend. It's an excellent day before the weekend. It's an excellent day for a date night, Friday night. Go out somewhere fun, relax, do something fun. Um, Again, another great day for um, finding information. Pretty good day. It's a pretty light day. I really like Mercury trine Jupiter. Okay, really good day for changing your attitude about things and doing some manifestations from the ground up, like think Thanksgiving, what are we grateful for, doing some journaling about what we're grateful for, what we would like to have more of in our lives. Okay, if you guys want like a little, maybe I'll do that, maybe I'll do like a little manifestation technique for you guys. Okay, um, maybe I'll do that on Wednesday. Yeah, I might do that on Wednesday. I think it's a good idea. Okay, so a manifestation from the down up kind of technique. Okay, so for the Mercury trine Jupiter on the 3rd, which is this Friday. Okay, also on the 3rd, we're getting into the negative part of the 3rd. Okay, so this is at 11 in the morning, this is at 10 at night. So you have a couple of hours, but of course, with the squares, it's not only when they're exact, they're going in there. Venus square Pluto is an aspect where the transformation that we're going through don't really look so good. Okay, they don't look good. They're necessary, but they don't look good. Okay, so the square can be very much like very antagonistic. It's like a jack in the box. It's like, you've been repeating this lesson again and again and again. When does it stop? Okay, but with Venus square Pluto, it's a little bit more than that. It's a little bit more antagonistic. So like the beauty in the world can't survive the transformations that you have to go through to get there, so to speak. um so people are starting to take it slower. When it was like this, all of this is like very exciting, and we're telling people what we want, we're reaching agreements and everything like that. All of a sudden Venus square Pluto is like, are you so sure you want that? Like, is that really what you want? Is that a little bit shallow? Like, did you think that you were just gonna get that like really easily? Like, so with Venus square Pluto, it can be a little bit of a disappointing kind of day, because what we thought we wanted and what we were going for and what we said we wanted that seemed so easy is not coming today. It's not coming easy. We're understanding that it's not gonna come in the next 5 minutes, and some people are gonna be quite butthurt about that. Okay. Now, on a personal level, Venus square Pluto is going to affect Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Okay, the most. It is also going to affect people in Pisces. Okay, a little bit, because Venus, I think, is still in Pisces here. If it's in Aries, it's going to affect people in Aries. Now, on a personal level, it's deep emotional triggers in love, money, or self-worth arise. Are we worth, is the juice worth the squeeze? Are we worth what we want to have? Are we worth the wishes that we had that we just arrived at just yesterday? Literally, okay, on the first. Uh, are we worth all of these things, right? This is a test of attachment versus empowerment. What do you cling to versus what you transform? So, Venus square Pluto can demand that we let go completely of things that stand in the way of the beauty that we want to see in our lives. Um, like if we have desires for like, you know, a more peaceful, a more harmonious, a more energetically enriching life, the Pluto can be like, are we sure we want that? So therefore it's going to bring contrast. It's going to bring blockages and everything like that. And we have to say, yes, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure I want this. Yes, I'm sure I deserve it. Yes, I'm sure I'm worth it. So on a personal level, that's what it requires. That's what the lesson of Venus square Pluto is. And like I said, Venus moves kind of fast. So it's going to be there for like about, let's say, a few days, up to like a week. And then it's going to go away. Oh, excuse me. It's midnight, so I'm a little tired. Okay, guys? All right, on a mundane level, it is going to be affecting financial markets, power structures, and relationship dynamics in between people in power, but maybe not in between people in power that we know about. Okay, so like if anybody was saying the shadow gov, okay, the shadow gov is going to be quite active and fighting each other, okay, today. So we might hear news that we're like, huh? What just happened here? It's because of that, because we don't know everything. Uh, um, all right. Hidden agendas in alliances or economic systems may surface. Correct. Well, what I was talking about, the shadow gov, about um, corporations that run large parts of the world. Maybe social networks might be going down this day with the Mercury trine Jupiter with this square. It's kind of like making kind of a volatile market. Things are gonna fail that we thought were gonna succeed, things like that. So like if you have anything in the stock market, okay, if you have anything in the stock market, I'll say if you can risk it, minimal risk, okay? Do risk assessment, okay? Do risk assessment, do what is right for you. I am not a financial channel, okay? But if you have any kind of like financial things, please watch them like a hawk this week. Very volatile markets this week. Things that are unexpected are going to be happening, and you're going to need to be able to act quick if you're risking anything in the financial markets. All right? So just a forewarning that, hopefully nothing will happen. I don't want to scare you, but I will watch your money like a hawk. Pull it out if you need to. Don't take unnecessary risk this week. Okay? This month, really. Don't take unnecessary risk. Things are going to get hot later on this month. We'll talk about it later. Okay? So, yeah. So, April 3rd, please watch your money. Now, April 4th, we have a little bit of a break. There's nothing direct, but everything is still in motion. So then on April 5th, we have a Sun square Jupiter. The Sun square Jupiter is also not the greatest, okay? It is the spotlight on the ugly parts. Like, now it's an excellent time, okay, with the Venus square Pluto and the Sun square Jupiter. It's an excellent time to look at where you're standing in your own way. It's an excellent time on a magical level to remove blockages for yourself, like your own blockages, to like really take a real honest raw look at journaling. Great for this week. Journaling about, hey, what are the blockages to my wealth? What are the blockages to the things I want? What are the blockages to my energy flowing properly in my body? What are the blockages to my health? Okay. Where do I block myself from accessing the things? Okay. What is blocking me from accessing a higher level of care as far as healthcare goes? Okay. Disclaimer, not a healthcare professional. Okay. Tarot reader. Uh, so these are some of the things that you need to really think about with these squares. These squares are gonna just naturally put obstacles in your, or shine a light on the obstacles that you have to your wealth, to your health, to the things that you want in life, to your transformation into a higher level of yourself, okay? So this week, please ask yourself, hey, I see these blockages. Some of them come from me, some of them don't come from me. What can I do about them? Where can I realistically start working on these blockages so I can transmute them? Okay, squares are very, very slow, so they're gonna be lasting a couple of months. But today is one of those days, this week is one of those weeks where you should like really take a honest, hard look at yourself with the spotlight on the first, and just allow yourself to really talk to yourself in a positive manner and say, hey, let's change this. Let's change this. We don't have to keep living with these chips on our shoulders, with these things, okay? Um, so the Sun square Jupiter will affect Aries, Cancer, Scorpio, and all all, because Pluto's generational, okay? So it'll affect everybody. It'll affect all the generations and everything like that. Pluto stays 20 years in one sign. He's in Aquarius. Um, um, Libra is going to affect Aries, Cancer, Scorpio, and Libra, okay? Now, on a personal level, you may feel optimistic, but you're prone to overcommitting, okay? A check-in is needed between confidence and realism. So, yeah, take a long, good, hard look about where you're overdoing it, okay? Where you might be just putting in effort and it's never coming back, okay? Where you're like multiplying this, focusing on the negative, okay? Now, on a mundane, it's overextension, inflated promises, or ideological excess, dominating leadership decisions. Confidence is high. Things are not really grounded. Okay, that's pretty much that for the square Jupiter. It's not a bad square, okay? As things go, it's not a bad square, but it is about, pushing through obstacles. Pushing through the obstacles to our wealth, health, happiness, all of those things that Jupiter rules, okay? Now, also on the 5th, we have a Venus sextile the node. The Venus sextile the node is an excellent aspect for Venus. So we have another square, not a bad square, but the Venus sextile node is ensuring that we're actually learning the lesson from these two squares this week, okay? So it's really a harmonious aspect to where it's saying, okay, so once we overcome them, we can actually celebrate. Once we notice what our flaws are, once we notice, we can actually celebrate that we know that, because this is going to put us in a position to be able to actually work with our own character, with our own authentic self, okay? So yeah, Venus sextile the node is an excellent one to have, okay? Now, we also have a Mars sextile Uranus on the 8th, and that is the last one. So when the Venus sextiles node, it's an excellent time to take any kind of test. It's also an excellent time to like do a little bit of self-care, because we just went through this weekend, okay, with the squares and all of that stuff. So it's an excellent time to like sort of take a bath and sort of like, maybe if you're gonna journal some more, you can journal about the lessons that you've actually learned and how far you've come as a person. um, it's an excellent time to give yourself a pat on the back for making it through the month of March, okay? Because the month of March, for like really allowing yourself to take a break and come down from these squares, okay? Um, Now, Mars sextile Uranus can be good or bad depending on what you have in your chart and where it is. Um, it's an it's a good aspect, but it must be made to be good. It's not, like people have to work on it. So when you have a Mars sextile Uranus in your chart, or in, in the chart, it is talking about the motivation to go through the changes necessary to really radically change your life, to change other people's lives, um, to allow yourself to keep moving forward in spite of obstacles. It's sort of the wind beneath the wings of change, okay? A really good thing to do here on a magical level is magic for change. Like if you've been going through a lot of changes, it's magic to keep motivated, um, to really, it's like really problem solving, and to make sure that you keep motivated to go through these changes. Make sure that your focus for these changes is what you want it to be, okay? So this aspect encourages actually taking calculated risks to break free from limitations, allowing yourself quick, effective, inventive approaches to challenges. It favors progressive change, like we've talked about, keep on motivated, keep on going. Basically, keep on trucking, but not going the same way. It says you're motivated for this change, try something new, see what sticks, okay? Toss the pasta to the wall, see what sticks, okay? uh, Now, Mars and Uranus are kind of like very intuitive planets, so they don't function necessarily on like Mercury, like good old fashioned just mental acuity, okay? They don't function like that. They're very sanguine planet. So Mars is a very sanguine planet. Means it reacts when something happens to it. It reacts. Okay, it's very action oriented. So that makes it a little bit more intuitive than say um, a Mercury, for example, or even a Venus. Okay, Venus is intuitive, I would say. Um, Even the sun can be quite calculated. We go to 24 hours. It's a very exact number, 12 and 12, if it's on an equinox. Okay, um, but yes. So Mars sextile Uranus, very very good for having positive breakthroughs, and it's an excellent cap to to basically our week. Okay, it's an excellent cap to, and it's an excellent beginning to the next week. It's an excellent beginning because I think we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so Mars sextile Uranus is on a Tuesday. Um, it favors independent action more than it favors, um, working with other people, but Uranus is actually a very good group work kind of planet. So, you know, um, it also favors like the little guy becoming in leadership over a group of people because of the little, so basically like if we have, so I'm gonna do a little bit of predictive astrology here and kind of say that, okay, if we have any politicians that are um, kind of the underdog, we're going to start seeing them here. Um, we can also see very much this week, we can see AOC People who have like really great oratory ability kind of shine this week. People who know who they are authentically themselves, those people are going to shine on the global level, okay? We're talking people like Macron, who everybody underestimates all of the time. We're talking about Jasmine Crockett. We're talking about AOC. Uh, so I'm not familiar with like other politicians, but like even on the acting scene, like if there's like people who just got their start, um, we're gonna be seeing more of them. Any kind of political activism, we're gonna see some of that here. um, People are gonna be vocal this week, okay? um, but yeah, on a personal level, we have rapid progress, authentic drive, and innovative energy, okay? So don't be afraid this week to put some plans into motion. Like if you have a business and if it's a new business, do some marketing for yourself this week. Don't be shy, okay? It's an excellent time to do marketing for yourself, to like launch yourself, okay? All right, guys. So this week, if you're wanting to do any kind of like magical work, okay, I would do beginning of the week is glamour magic. Any kind of aesthetics, any kind of aesthetic magic, decorating, doing any kind of marketing, stuff like that, magic for those things. A very, very good week in the beginning of the week, okay? April 1st through April 3rd, I say excellent. From April 3rd to April 8th, it's a very good time to like really take a look and not necessarily do some unblocking, but do some revealing work. Okay, so like do work so that you can see the truth inside yourself. Do journaling work. Do some like gratitude like based work, and really take a look at your blockages. Okay, it's not necessarily to unblock yourself, it's really to understand that even though it might take a longer period of time, to keep motivated. At the beginning of next week, okay, which is April 7th and 8th, we're talking about doing magical work to keep ourselves motivated. Maybe taking some shortcuts that are gonna cut our time, to like get over certain blockages, okay? And a little bit again to recap the warning: if you have any money anywhere, markets are kind of gonna be, I think, pretty volatile. So watch your money like a hawk this week. Um, Public opinion is gonna be swayed. Okay, so please watch your money this week. Please watch your health this week. Okay, because again, energy is gonna be ebbing and flowing. There's gonna be highs and lows this week. So please watch your money, watch your health. If you need to take a break, the 4th is an excellent time to take a break. That's a Saturday as well. So that's excellent to take a break at. And all right. Love you guys. And Mama's going to bed, okay? Reverend Anna, peace out. Bye.